Hey bitches, this is Levi from Masculine Intuition Readings, and I was really busy today. I was at work and then I went home to work from home. I'm leaving to Canada and NYC in a couple days, so I really have to wrap things up at work. So I was really late with my daily reading. Like normally I kind of post in the morning, and today I posted it just now, and I've really been in a mermaidy mood again. I know, basic bitch, it's summer in the northern hemisphere, so you know, that's when I get really attracted to the mermaidy vibes. And I used a deck, and a deck that I used to love, and sometimes, and I still love, I mean, you can still use it, but it kind of depends on how you want to use it. But I was like, you know what I want to do? I kind of want to go through all my actual mermaid decks, because I have a shit ton of watery energy, mermaidy decks, or decks that feature like one or two mermaids. But I wanted to go through my hardcore mermaid decks and kind of see what I think about them, maybe kind of rank them, I don't know, but I do kind of want to sort of give out a little warning to y'all as to, you know, not every mermaid deck is what it seems. And I kind of want to start with the culprit to all of this. It's Oracle of the Mermaids by Lucy Cavendish. Lucy Cavendish. Can't even speak anymore. Magical messages of healing, love, and romance. And I love this deck. So this is the updated version where they changed some of the art. And you know what I have been sort of noticing with this deck a lot is that the art is gorgeous. The cards are on gorgeous, huge Blue Angel cardstock, really thick, really high quality. The imagery is amazing. Yeah, I have some problems with it, but that's neither here nor there in terms of art and in terms of depictions. But you know, like, it's a cute mermaid deck. But what I have noticed with this deck and a lot of Lucy Cavendish decks is that they're very heteronormative, which, you know, once again, that's neither here nor there. I don't really care about it. But a lot of the cards don't really offer actual guidance on the card, even though it does kind of pose like it does. Some of the cards are really like clear. For example, this one, reflections, and I can't read the mirror. I can't read mirror images, and that's what I see when I film. What you contemplate can actualize, so that is sort of some guidance that you can use. But then you also have this card, Time and Tide, and the keywords or key phrases, oceanic spells and rituals. Like, so the card is telling me you need to do some oceanic spells and rituals, but I'm not getting any guidance. And you know, when you format a deck like this, where you have a keyword and a phrase or message or a couple keywords, when you format a deck like this, give me either something that I can actually use, or just put the title on here and be very clear that you need to use the guidebook for this. Because if I were to pull this card in a reading for someone, I wouldn't know what to tell them. And you know, I do give readings to other people, so you know, and this at first glance would be a deck that I would take with me, because you know, it's very easy to use intuitively. But looking at it a little bit better, I wouldn't. For example, this card, again, visions. Psychic images, clairvoyance, seeing, out-of-body travel. Is there guidance in there? This one's better. Homeland, arrival, a journey ends, establishment, building, settled. So, you know, some of the cards make sense. some of the cards don't make any sense at all. This one kind of does energy field adjustment, aura cleansing, and health. What that has to do with mermaids, I don't know. But another one here, dreams. Vivid dreaming, dream messages, dream teaching. Like these are activities, or these are, you know, I mean, there are some, I mean, I'm only showing the bad examples now. There are lots of usable cards in here, but, Farewell to the Moon. Gorgeous illustration, by the way. Appreciate and enjoy the lunar light and cycles. But where's the guidance? Where's the guidance, you know? I love this art too. Like, this is really cool. The unseen. Too much is hidden from you. But I don't really know if this deck is like my favorite mermaid deck that I have. Like, honestly. Another one which is an activity. Conchomancy. That's it. Or is it conchomancy? I don't know. It's conch shells, so it would be conchomancy. Conchomancy. Seashell divination, wisdom of shells. There's no guide. Like, let me quickly do a little bit of a count where there is guidance and where there isn't guidance. All right, so, and y'all are gonna have to deal with me. Because some of these are usable, to at least to me. And there's quite a lot of cards in this deck, so yeah, there are some, but you know, it's more like the activity cards where I'm kind of like, that doesn't do anything for me at all. And even this reflections card, what you contemplate can actualize, in my, I mean, you could see it as guidance, but I'm not a big fan of it. Here, another one. Lemuria Returns, earthy spirituality, community, ocean conservation. Something that you can do. Honoring the masculine, respecting men, you know, like something you can do. This could be guidance. This is definitely guidance. Another one where we're kind of explaining psychic abilities, like the visions card, telepathy, nonverbal communications, energetic pulses, mind reading. If that were to come up in a reading for someone else or for yourself, what would you get from that? Let's see. I mean, and like I said, it's good, but it's not the greatest. Like, I believe that there are too many of these cards in here. Guide, a mentor, a trustworthy ally. That's not guidance. Another activity, divination. And this one was actually one that came up in a reading where I was like, huh? And then I read the guidebook, and I was even more like, huh? Because there was really good guidance in the guidebook, in a very palatable, like, little paragraph. And I was like, why not put that on the card? The Return of Aphrodite, Temple, Birth of the Goddess, Guidance, Goddess Energy, Treating as Sacred. Like, these are really difficult keywords to use in a reading. And then in the guidebook, it talks all about reclaiming your sensuality and your sexuality. And, you know, basically the guidebook is telling you to fuck around a little bit more, which, you know, is good it's good guidance. So I have this pretty big stack of usable cards. So maybe it's not that bad. But then I have about a fourth, even more than a fourth, like a fourth up to a third of the cards that are completely unusable. And I don't really think that's necessary for a topical oracle deck like this. Should be really easy to give clear guidance, right? So I don't dislike it. I'm not going to get rid of it because I adore Selena Fenwick's art. And I love Lucy Cavendish's writing in the guidebooks, but is it a very usable Mermaid Oracle deck? No. She did write one that is very usable, and that's this, but it's less attractive. This is text messages on cards. So this one right here. Born of the ocean. The ocean is the great mother from whom all life upon this planet came forth. We are all one, born from our mother, the sea, and we mermaids see you as family, never to be abandoned. But even with this, is it great guidance? No. The mermaid's crown. Appreciate how beautiful you are, how perfect your form is. Feel gratitude for the wonder of the gift of life. You are a marvel, and we, the mermaids, will crown you. Know how wonderful you truly are. So this is not necessarily guidance, it's very affirmation-y, and this is just me grabbing some random ones out of the bunch. Miracles. Magic is everywhere. You are drawing so much to you at this time. We, the mermaids, are sending you a miracle that will transform a situation within your life. Prepare for uplifting moments and surprise after a wonderful surprise. So is this a deck for guidance? No, but this is definitely a good pick-me-up deck. If you need a little pick-me-up, and you know, if you're into the whole channeling thing, you could like buy into the fact that these are probably messages channeled by Lucy from the mermaids. But guidance during a reading, I don't see it. Now let's head into an actually really, really good one, and that's this one, Messages from the Mermaids by Karen K. I believe this is Karen K's second deck. I got this from Jason from Tarot by the Pines as a gift. Really sweet of him. And this is a really usable deck. So this is a deck where the guidance is the guidance and keywords are very usable and clear on the cards. And then if you want to delve deeper into that mermaidy world, Karen wrote little like paragraphs in the guidebook to really draw you into that world. But here we get ask for help, acceptance. It is glossy, but I don't care. It's good. Breaking free. What's this? Abundance. Love. So these are very usable keywords that, you know, since there isn't anything else but this keyword in the art on the card, it is very easy to use in a reading. Friendship. It is a bit basic, yes. Magic. Love that. But it works. It works really well. Feelings. Truth. Dreaming. And there are like two super hot mer daddies in this deck that I kind of want to show y'all as well. Honestly, I wish there would have been more because they look so cool. We have this one, which I do love. We have gentleness, which is a keyword I've rarely seen with a male image. You know, and once again, I've kind of stopped caring about all the different gender representation and color representation in decks because I do genuinely feel like, you know, if you want that to exist, create yourself, pay someone to do it, or buy one of the 10,000 like hyper inclusive decks that are out there today. They were created for that reason. Amazing. If you are looking for a very inclusive mermaid deck, this is probably the one because we get tons of body and color race diversity in here. Not a lot of men, but we do get two. This is the other one, Move Forward. I do really like this deck a lot. Like, and once again, I'm kind of tapping out of the whole inclusivity, inclusiveness, whatever the word is, conversation, because I feel like although it is important, we're kind of veering into, as a community, we're kind of veering into a creating a vibe where we are bullying artists. Like, for example, this features art by It doesn't even say on the box. Oh, Linda Olson. And Linda Olson had painted these long before Karen Katie came around. You know, the Hay House just bought the back catalog, I think, or bought some rights and maybe commissioned a few pieces. But, you know, Linda Olson isn't responsible for the fact that she likes painting female mermaids a lot more than male mermen, you know? So, hands off of Linda Olson. If you want to complain to Hay House, you know? Like, you could have thought about this a little bit more, that a little bit more, but not the girl who was commissioned to paint these cards. Because she was probably on a time crunch. Most of it was already a pre-existing art, and they don't get paid enough to deal with all y'all's bullshit, honestly. But once again, on the negativity aside, this is probably one of my favorites. It's a really good reader. You can take it with you. Wonderful, fairly positive, but I like it a lot. I like it a lot more than the Lucy Cavendish big box one, because this is constructed in a way where, yes, it does pull you into the magical mermaid world, and it does give you enough like agency to really, you know, construct your own reading, let your intuition flow free. Yeah. Another one which I love, and I don't know if it's still in print, but that's the Tarot Sirene. This is by, what's her name again? I forget. Wandering Oracle, really pretty box. Inside is also lovely, and this is my favorite Marseille deck. They also did the Marshmallow Marseille. This is definitely the one that I love the most. It has this really cute little old school vibe that I love, and it really pulls me in. And this is the only Mermaid Tarot deck that I have, because I used to have the Llewellyn one, but it's trash. This is amazing because it's kind of rough around the edges. The pips are adorned beautifully with this like gorgeous, you know, like seaweed and, you know, sort of like sea flowers, and it looks really cool and flowy, and there's lots of greens and lots of sea colors. Even Death is a freaking mermaid. Love that. I love the way the mermen are portrayed. It's just such a great way of illustrating a deck. I love this star card. It's one of my favorite cards in the deck. Yeah, I think this is an exceptionally well done mermaid deck, and it's all about the mermaids. And yes, it is pippish, but it's so adorable, cute. I love this papes. Really, really stunning. There's no guidebook, and you don't really need one because, you know, tarot is tarot. Absolutely stunning, amazing deck. I should use this more often. I might use this tomorrow because it's indie and not always in print. I'm a little bit scared to bring this with me on holiday, and I kind of feel like I want to bring an Oracle deck, and I still haven't made up my mind. Like some people, in my last video, I kind of did this poll where I was like, should I bring the Sacred Creators or the Healing Waters? And it was kind of 50s what people said. I don't know yet. Up next is an absolute favorite of mine. This is out of print. It's the Magical Mermaids and Dolphins Oracle by Doreen Virtue. And this is out of print. There was this huge Doreen Virtue craze a while ago where scalpers were asking a fuck ton of money for these decks. But I feel like the craze has kind of died down, and you can get this obviously for more than the mass market price, but for really affordable prices on eBay now. And this deck is really fugly. It's not pretty. It's very old school Oracle cards. Some of the art is absolutely atrocious, and still I adore this deck. I may even go as far as to bring this with me on holiday. I'm not quite sure yet, but I always enjoy the readings I do with this deck. This is my favorite piece of art because it's so bad. And it's not bad as in me criticizing art, but it's, you know, all these different artists in one deck. The styles clash very often. You know, like it's the art direction just was not on point back then at Hay House, and yet I still love it. I still love everything about this deck. I love it so much. There's good guidance in here. This was Martin's deck, and you know what? Like, Martin burns a lot of incense, so this deck literally smells like him, and I love it. Because this is what Martin smells like. Like, we've been together to London, I've hung out with him, and he has a very distinctive like smell around him because he burns so much incense in his house, so his clothes smell like that. You know, and his bag smells like it, and this deck smells like it too, which may sound kind of weird, but it's nice to have a friend around you even when they're not there, so I like that a lot. But yeah, I don't know, there's something about this deck that's super cute. The keywords are good, so this is actually a deck where you get a good keyword at the top and you get a message that contains actual guidance at the bottom, and then if you want to, you can, you know, consult the guidebook. This is way back when Hay House still did staple bound guidebooks, but you don't have to. It's usable, it's fun, and sometimes that's what you want. That's what I want. Ooh, up next, kind of a weird one. Mermaids and Dolphins and Magical Creatures of the Sea by Gillian Kemp. This is really cute. Yeah, comes in those weird Chico book boxes that are not that amazing. I rather would have had a smaller, slightly thicker guidebook so we could have a box that actually fits these cards, but you know what? This is really cool because this is kind of a double deck. Is it? I thought you could tell by the backs. Or was it the fronts? Oh yeah, it was the fronts. So you either get these pink fronts, that's like the dolphins and creatures, and then you get the more, I don't know, like, can you tell the difference? Yeah, so this has like this pink border is mermaids and dolphins. This more cream border is mermen, mermaids, like mythological creatures from the sea. And this is kind of a weird one because you get the name of the thing and then you get a bit of prose on the cards. Some of it has very good guidance in that prose. Some of it is a bit more like mysterious, so I would definitely say that this is not one that is very easy to use all the time, but definitely it's, you know, the prose is weird on each card, so at least it's consistent rather than the Lucy Cavendish deck that looks really good, but that is weird as hell because there's, you know, on a fourth of the cards there's no guidance. I love this. You know, it has interesting, like, for example, this one, the water nymph. The first step to wisdom is understanding. That's something, you know, to think about, to contemplate. It's not a rapid fire reading deck such as this, but it's guidance that you can sort of contemplate a little bit longer on and actually use. Or this, the Vodianoi sprite. Really cool illustrations too, very folksy, very mythological. The ebb and flow of the tide carries good tidings. So that's, you know, that's, you could read that as good luck. This one I love. The Nyx. Calm waters reflect clearer images than rough waters. So there is really good guidance here, which I love. The Sith Mermaid. The power that creates and sustains you heals you. So, you know, like, interesting little, you know, tidbits. Some of the art is better than the others. Queen Amphitrite. Faith is an optimist that shows which way to flow. You know, it's interesting. It's interesting. The guidebook is good. Let's see. That's card number 2. So let's look at the guidance for card number 2. The cards. You know, and I don't know if you guys have had a Gillian Kemp deck before, but she has fun in her guidebooks. So in the guidebook, you get keywords: supernatural feminine wisdom. Amphitrite, queen of feminine intuition, symbolizes spiritual activity. Okay, that's interesting. This is a positive card for you. The wave you have to surf will be easier to ride if you tell yourself that you will enjoy the journey, as did Amphitrite when the dolphin led her back to her lover. Blah, 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 it goes on. But this is it's really cute. A lot of time and energy was put into this, which I like. I don't like the box, but I got this for a good price. The Lucy Cavendish one was kind of, like, I'm constantly referring back to the Lucy Cavendish one, because that wasn't cheap either. So it was kind of like, you know, I was genuinely a little pissed off earlier, because I kind of started out reading with Lucy Cavendish Oracle decks. That's I've been reading for way longer than that, but I never had the guts to read for others. But looking back, like, also with the Oracle of Shadows and Light and with the Oracle of Shapeshifters, she always does this thing where she puts sort of these play activity cards in her decks. You know, and all her decks are structured, most of her decks are structured like that, where you have a title and a phrase / keywords. I already don't like that from a design perspective. Choose either a phrase like Doreen Virtue did, or choose a set of keywords, preferably the same amount for each card. Am I weird in thinking that? I don't know. But she always has she has this card called Trick or Treat in her Oracle of Shadows and Light, and the sentence underneath that just says, "We're here." What am I supposed to get out of that in a reading? Why even put that information there in the first place? How is that going to help me as a reader to construct a reading? Then I rather would have had just the card title, so I know it's one of those booky Oracle decks. So I know that it's an interactive, choose your own adventure book, basically. Bibliomancy, if you will. A deck that does exactly that, it's a total bibliomancy deck, is this. But at least it's upfront about it. So, you know, I'll give it a pass. You know, there's nothing wrong with decks being like that. I used to hate on decks like that all the time. But, you know, if it's clear, and that's good. So this deck has lots of horizontal cards. That's because most of this is pre-existing artwork that was picked out by either the artist or the publisher. But it's gorgeous, and it has these really zany titles. For example, the Green Mermaid Triplets. You know, I don't know what that is, but I know I'm gonna have to dive into the guidebook to find out. And it's absolutely lovely what's in the guidebook. Honestly, like, I really love it. Stardust Angel. Don't get the connection to mermaids. It's probably in the guidebook. Let me look it up, because I find this interesting. And this is seriously such a cute deck. I may even take this with me. I'm going to have to put it in a bag, though, because I'm not bringing that big ass box. And then also the book is bigger than the card, so maybe not, but Stardust Angel. Let these authors, because it's credited to Jasmine Beckett Griffith, but the guidebook is by Amber Logan and Kachina Macaletto, and they did a really good job. Stardust Angel. Celestial Council of the Night, steer me soundly with your light, navigate, instruct, advise, share your knowledge, make me wise, enlighten me, help me decide, be my astral spirit guide. A dazzling beauty floats on the water, but her gaze is fixed towards the night sky. Her soulful eyes seek guidance from the heavens that are radiantly reflected in her hair. So, you know, we're taking the art and we're ascribing meaning to it, and yes, we are being taken into this world. Divination meaning, follow your guiding star. And then there's a whole story that you can read, but you can also just keep it at that. So yeah, you know, like at least this knows what it is. And yeah, I don't know, I really like it. I like it a lot. It's one of my favorites. Another thing that Blue Angel does a lot is crop the artworks weird. And if you were wondering why, it's because they're pre-existing artwork. They were not commissioned especially for a deck for a deck format. This doesn't, you know, change my opinion about this deck at all. I still love it, but it's just good stuff to know as a consumer. So if you want to use this deck for really quick, punchy readings, if you want to use this deck to read for others, you're going to have to either learn the whole guidebook by heart or use, you know, use the guidebook in conjunction with the deck while you read. I love this one. This one's so cool. And yeah, it's a really cutely, like, these authors, I've never heard from them at all. Do they even get mentioned in the back? Let's see. Amber Logan and Kachina. No, there's information about them, but not necessarily anything with other. Well, they have written Strangling the Art of Jasmine Beckett Griffith together with Jasmine as well, so it looks like they're kind of part of her team, but they haven't really written any other Oracle decks. And it's fun. It's fun. Jasmine and Amber and Kachina really went all out. So these are all my like 100% like pure mermaid decks. And if I were to rank them, I have, let's say I have, well, you know what? I'm gonna do a top 3 of the ones I like the best, that I love using all the time. And that would be my Tarot Siren. I love that. My Magical Mermaids and Dolphins, really love that, and my Messages from the Mermaids. Ones that I don't really like that much are Magical Messages from the Mermaids, that little text deck, and the Oracle of the Mermaids, both by Lucy Cavendish. They're cute, but they're not amazing. And then the ones that I, you know, that I would not like rescue if my house burnt down, but that do like intrigue me enough or have enough originality for me to, you know, want to hold on to them, are these two, the Mermaids and Dolphins. I really think it's an interesting little system. I like that half of the deck is mermaids, half of the deck is dolphins, and this myths and mermaids, because of the world building in the guidebook, which I enjoy, and because it knows what it is. Anyways, I hope you like this little mermaid rant. I mean, they're freaking mermaids, guys. Like, why do we care? But I don't know, I love them. And I would love to see more great mermaid decks come out. Like I said, I don't like the Mermaid Tarot by Llewellyn. I think it's like too Disney-fied. Of course, I'm getting Danny's Astral Mermaid Art Tarot. But, you know, give me an interesting mermaid. Like, I did some mermaids in my own tarot deck, and I kind of want to do a mermaid deck, but I don't know if I'd get bored drawing so many mermaids. Stuff to think about. Food for thought. Anyways, love y'all. This will probably be my last video before I go on vacation. So, bye, bitches.